Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you guys are listening to me from. Yes, girl, I don't know what happened to me there. I was just, I don't know. I guess to be honest, it's like lunchtime for me anyway, so maybe that's what it is. But good morning to those who it's still morning for. You're welcome. I'm just going to put on the countdown to give you guys some time to come in, and then let's talk about it. All right, we're back. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. Okay, so I think I want to talk about Basketball Wives first, just because I think what I have to say about Basketball Wives is a lot shorter. And so I just want to get that out of the way, and then we can talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. But hit that like button as you guys come in, please, and thank you. Now, about Basketball Wives, I okay, maybe I can show you better than I can tell you. Maybe I need to play the clip of Jackie and Chantel. For those of you who do not watch it, just so you guys can see the craziness, but it's not looking good. It really is not looking good at all. So give me 1 second. Let me get that up on my screen. Um The annoying thing is I didn't initially plan to show that to you guys, but give me a sec. Oh, that literally just first thing that came up on my screen. All right. I guess all works together. Now let me share my screen. All right. So I'm going to unmute this. Let me just click on it actually, only because I don't want it. Okay. Looks like Chantel also has put an update. Fantastic. All right. So we're going to play. Oh my goodness, what have I done? I probably should have just kept it. Okay, so we're going to play this clip and then we're going to get into it. So to give some context, Chantel and Jackie have been beefing pretty much for a good chunk of the season, right? And so now Chantel is coming back to literally pull up on Jackie. And I'm just like, okay, you're having a conversation with your mom, but why are you being so antagonistic? So this is the second time she's coming to come and try to have a conversation with her mom. So let's get into it. Is the sound effects for me? The sound effects is cracking me up. It's obvious that it's obvious that the people in editing are like, "Ooh, we have to dramatize this." Now, I will say, it's as crazy as it gets. Mom and daughter fighting, that is some craziness to me. So I'm not surprised at all.
Aisha. After dinner, Ty came to me and she said that my mom wanted to see me. Me going up to this room, I want the opportunity to speak my piece and to tell her how I truly feel.
Okay, so are you listening? She wants the opportunity to be able to speak peace and oh, Siri. She wants the opportunity to be able to speak her shush Siri. Stop. She wants sorry guys. Siri just had me confused. So that's the thing. You want the opportunity to speak your mind. Okay. So don't get me wrong. I'm sure I feel like something has happened in Chantel's life that they are not talking about. There is a lot of deep hurt and trauma there that is not being addressed. I completely feel that way. 110%. 110%. But my thing is this. If that's truly the case, then address it with your mom directly. Address it with your mom without the cameras. There's no reason for this to be on camera. And then you're like practically attacking your mom. And it was so obvious that your mom did not want to have the conversation on camera, yet you kept provoking and pushing. Please hit that like button as you guys come in, please, and thank you. I'm just going to put this here for everyone. Please hit that like button. Thank you. All right.
Good in this person.
I'm going to start this again. I won't walk out. You tell me what's going on.
I think we're kind of past that point, don't you think?
Okay. So, as you guys can see, Chantel came in heavy. Chantel is like, I do not want to hear it. And I understand. If you're trying to have a conversation with someone and the person is like, yeah, nah, head out. Now, I will say Chantel was disrespectful from the start. So let's just be clear on that. Chantel was disrespectful. Chantel was not trying to hear her mom. Chantel was not here for that at all. It's given Chantel does not even like Jackie. Okay. So I'm not surprised that it did escalate, but let's keep watching.
I love you. I don't know what happened with us.
Look at Chantel's face. Chantel is like, what are you doing? It's almost like you're in denial. That is what Chantel's face is giving me. Chantel's face is giving me, there are stuff that you know, and you know exactly how I feel, and you know what is going on, but you don't want to address it. Now, is Chantel right with the way she treated her mother? No. But I do think that there is more that we are not privy to that has actually caused the rift between Jackie and Chantel.
As far as Vegas, as far as it getting to this point, what I kick myself in the butt about is I should have said something prior to now. I should have forced the issue. At the end of the day, you got to remember, Banna, I don't have a problem with you.
I didn't do nothing to you.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like they're very similar. Ty clocked it. They're very similar because that's exactly the way they both act. They're exact replicas of each other. It's crazy. It's like you're watching a mini Jackie.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I don't really care.
You feel you didn't do nothing to me.
I didn't.
And I feel I didn't do nothing to you.
Well, that's crazy.
Exactly. So now you see both of them feel like Chantel is looking at it from a lens of all of the things that you have historically done to me as a child or whatever. However, she feels grieved the way she was as a child or how she was brought up. She feels grieved in that. In this actual beef, if we're being completely honest, Chantel, you were the one that caused the issues because you said to your mom to stay out of issues. Then she did, and then you're upset that she didn't take up for you. It's like, what do you want from her?
My only point is this, Shani. We can argue all day long.
I'm not gonna argue with you. Those days are completely over.
What?
I left you downstairs. I came back
Ooh. Okay.
up here more so to tell you that going forward, we won't be going forward.
So let me get this right. You came upstairs to sit in front of your mom to tell her there's not going to be moving forward. Okay. All right.
We're done.
Yeah. You could have decided not to show up and just said it, we're done. That's it. There was no need to come in front of her, knock the door of her room to tell her that we're done. I don't think any parents would like that personally, but what do I know?
That's fine. The cameras don't mean nothing to me.
Okay, well,
more
they
than
clearly
anything,
do.
what I made them understand is I wanted you to get an opportunity to sit down with your mother because prior to the cameras, we didn't have this issue.
We didn't?
No.
And this is what I think it is. I feel like whatever resentment Chantel may have held towards her mother, I don't think Jackie was aware of it. I think that Jackie showed up to work thinking, oh, it's going to be mother and daughter. It's going to be fun. But it sounds like Chantel had other plans, or at least there were already so many cracks that before you knew what was happening, everything just got exposed, right? Everything got exposed, everything was hit on the head. Now we all see that they have issues.
So we've had a great relationship?
Shani, have we not?
Have we had a great relationship?
Okay, then you should probably be able to share with me why you feel that
Mom,
way.
I'm asking you a rhetorical question.
Like,
okay, maybe Chantel does not know the meaning of a rhetorical question, but if you're asking a rhetorical question, you shouldn't be expecting a response, but it sounds like you're expecting a response.
I feel like there is a huge difference between Jackie, the mother, and Jackie, the personality. And I think that that version of Jackie is who came and sat down in front of me.
But that is what you are going to get if you decide to bring issues to her place of work, Shani or Chantel, whatever. You cannot be that dumb. If you come to her place of work where she makes her money to bring the shenanigans on camera, then she is going to address you the way she would address the people on camera. That's just what that is. You're not going to come at your mom on camera and then she's going to be like, you're my daughter, I love you. Most people will not do that.
Right now. I don't want to be a part of the lie.
all as I know,
So sad.
all as I know,
This is sad.
it isn't.
It is
All as
very
I know
sad,
is I
Mom.
agreed
You
to
need
sit
help.
down again with you to have this conversation for you. It ain't for me. I wanted to give you an opportunity to clean your name up. If this
I to clear my name?
This is why I feel like they both know the things to say to get the reaction that they want. Guys, hit that like button. They know what to say to get the reactions going. This is what I think. They know what to say. It's very much like, okay, let me say this, this will get a reaction, because that is what we are getting. We're absolutely getting people, like, you can tell she is literally just pushing to see how much she can get away with her mom. Honestly believe that. There is no way you can tell me that Chantel did not know that this was going to get a reaction out of her mom. There's nothing you can tell me.
Chantel, listen. If this how you,
I need to clear my name up?
Girl, stop.
Do you hear yourself?
Stop.
I need to clear my
I'ma
name
say
up?
this.
Please say it.
I
and
love
record
you.
it while you
I
at
ain't
it.
record
So
nothing.
you can
I
run
look-
it.
And this is another thing I don't like. Chantel always brings her dad into conversations or conflicts with Jackie. Almost like she feels like that's the only way that she can put Jackie in her place. It is so weird. It is so weird. And I'm just like, I don't know what is going on there, but they need serious therapy because something is going on. Something has happened.
See Dad and Douglas and
Stop.
continue to lie to them and tell them that what
my
happened
God.
didn't happen.
Shani.
So that when they see this, they see you for the violent individual that you are.
Stop.
Can you see? It's almost like goading her so that when they see this, they can see you for the violent individual that you are. So it's almost like somebody wants to expose you and then they do enough to get you riled up because they know the kind of things that will get you riled up. That is what I feel. Because the words that she's saying, yes, they'll see you for the violent individual that you are. It's like, why are you trying to expose your mom to your sibling, to your father? That is so weird to me. Like, I can't imagine a daughter saying they're going to see you for the violent individual that you are when the mom hasn't even done anything violent in this conversation. She was definitely goading her. She was trying to push her. She wanted a reaction. And that's exactly what she got.
No, I'm not going to stop. And I'm not going to let up. And I'm
Well,
going to
guess
speak
what
the
I
truth
want
to
you to do?
every
I want
single
you to
time.
get
I have
up.
zero respect
I want
for
you to get up.
Wow. Imagine. That is crazy. That is I can't lie to you. This sort of scenes are not fun to watch. I don't know why this why this had to be a storyline for this season. It is not fun to watch at all. At all.
And leave
Zero
my room.
respect for
Get
you.
up and leave my room.
Zero
okay,
respect.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
You look very
Thank you
cute.
for wasting my time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, girl.
Bye-bye.
And this is what she should have done. Just kept walking. Don't come back. Yet she had to have the last word in. She had to get the last word in. And this is why I'm like, you're just like your mother.
Have a great night, girl. You have a good night, girl.
Hey, sweetie. Good night.
Be well.
Good night. I will. That's a much better exit.
You right.
Good night.
You right. And
I
you
love
think
you.
you look better?
Bye-bye.
Do you think you look better? Do you think that
Girl, just let it go. Go. She said, leave my room. That should have been the end of it. Get your ass up and leave. There is no need for you to come back in. Mama?
you fix the situation because you're sitting here looking stupid?
I don't.
Look how you
I
look
don't.
as a mother, Jackie.
If you don't
Look how
get
you look as a
And yet again, another thing that would piss anybody off, look at how you look as a mother now. First of all, guys, I don't want you guys to misunderstand me. I am not saying that Jackie is a good mom. I do not know, right? I don't know, because also the one of our other daughters has already said that she was a bad mom, right? Now, my point is this. Even you already know who your mom is. If you feel like she's a bad mom, you already knew that before you came on her platform. If you had not resolved your issues, you knew that those issues will come up at some point on the show, right? And to be honest, that's your mom. If you really cared about your relationship or whatever, you both could have had those conversations behind. And I'm not just saying the daughter, even the mom, you guys could have had those conversations privately. Yet, it had to be a public spectacle, which is so ridiculous for me. Now, what we see is Jackie constantly trying not to have the conversation on camera. Yet, we see Chantel always trying to have the conversations on camera, always pushing for the conversation to be had. And then to sit in front of your mom and basically say that she will be exposed for being a violent individual when she hasn't gotten up to do anything violent to you, and bringing up her other child and her husband, sorry, into the conversation, your dad, that's a problem. And so I feel like Jackie is not innocent, but Chantel is not innocent either. They both are not. Please hit that like button, guys. Please hit that like button. All right, let's get back into it.
mother. Don't touch me.
She told her, get out of my room. Now, I know a lot of people are like, why did she push her? And I agree. But I feel like, in actual honesty, if I'm being honest, I feel like Chantel thought her mother was going to come and swing on her when her mom got up. And then in defense, she pushed. And this is the thing about sometimes when you hold resentment for somebody, you always feel like they are going to attack you. You anticipate stuff. And then sometimes you end up being the aggressor. So I know people feel like, oh, she intentionally pushed her mom. I genuinely don't think she did. I think that it was a reflex reaction to her thinking that her mom was going to physically come and hit her. Now, this is someone who does not like, who I'm not a fan of either of them. And this is what I'm noticing. It felt like a genuine mistake, if I'm being honest. But I don't blame Jackie. Because then she could have said, oh, mom, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to hit you. I thought you were going to hit me. I was trying to block you. She could have said that. But she wanted to stand 10 toes in it. And Jackie did what most people would do. And it's like, yeah, knock if you buck. Like, sorry, not sorry. The way she banged her in the face, girl, that aggression is crazy. Like, did you see how her face pretty much like twisted to the side, honey? That was a proper punch. Jackie was like, yeah, nah, enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Let me go.
And then you now try to throw your phone at your mom. Like, no, sis. No, sis. Like, I do get it, right? Your ego is bruised. you're like, how can mom, I'm a mom, how can my mother hit me? I get it. But you swung first. Mistake or not, you swung first. And so she cleared you. Like, there's nothing, I'm not going to say nothing because I can't, I personally, I feel like my reflexes are quick. So if anyone mistakenly hits me, I might have hit you before I realized that like it was a mistake. So I understand people who swing quickly. I'm not being funny. Now, I'm not going to hit anyone first, but if you hit me first, like the way my self defense, and if you even are able to get it in before I hold your hands, but I feel like for most people, it's a quick reflex reaction. Like, how dare you hit me? Boom, you know. And I can't even lie, Chantel. I hate to break it to you, sis, but it landed right there in your face. It really did land. Like, it really did land. Sorry. On that note, my mouse just stopped working. Give me a second. I like using external mouse, so I'm just like, we got to get it working, especially when I'm doing lives. I need to be able to, yep, perfect.
Let me go.
And then you're trying to hit your mom with your purse. That is the ghetto. The ghetto.
Let go. No, you guys.
And then cursing at your mom. That is the height of disrespect. And this is my thing. It's like, it's such a level of disrespect that I just do not get. And the thing is, that's not to say that there isn't stuff that's happened in their past that could have warranted it. I get it. There could well have been stuff that have warranted it. Absolutely. But my thing is that whatever the case may be, you don't come on her platform to do her like that. First, you take away all her so-called community from her, getting them on your side, and now you swing on your mom and expect that you're not going to get a reaction. What a joke. Seriously, what a joke. Now, let's have a look at
I had no
at what the other daughter said. She doesn't even know our mom. If she did, she would only try to protect her. She didn't deserve to be done like this on her platform. That's all I have to say about this. Absolutely. I feel like it's given they were trying to push Jackie out and decided to find and use her daughter to do it, but her daughter is too stupid to notice that this is what is happening. Let me see what the plot thickens. So Moniz then says, now to Carrie, you're doing a lot, sis. At what point this was you and we all defended you too? You was hollering neglect and you two were a victim of Jackie. So I guess I'm a little confused. If you're not going to talk about it, don't talk about it. Because you should go through the comments and respond to dang near everybody to talk about it. Because you sure did go through the comments. Wow. And it was your mom first. Now it's your sister. So if you're going to address anyone, address your sister, because let's be clear, was it not you that posted something after one of the episodes aired and nobody reported on it onto your sister addressed you publicly, just as you've done her publicly, but we never saw your response to her response to your initial shade or outrage? Everybody keeps saying they are confused. That's because it's my business. Also, you've never seen me attack my mom. The only reason you know about me is because I was spoken about by the cast for years. What you saw was me defending myself against claims of being a con artist and scammer for having a GoFundMe for my hurt child. The internet and the show took my son's accident and made it about a donation. I didn't bring this info to y'all. My book was my side of what y'all been seeing going on. Another thing, I said what I said. My mom wouldn't be out here facing the world alone if they all left or whatever. What? I did not speak on their fight. That's their issue. I addressed what I wanted to. Have a good day, sis. Okay. I guess someone has summarized it for us. Takari is stating that even though her and her mother had problems, she never came about it the same way that Chantel did. I get it, but it's like whatever, man. These things happen. Chantel did what she thought was best. You did what you thought was best at the time. I'm just like, I'm not even dignifying that with a response or commentary. Now, what I do want to say is this update. So Ming says, Jackie, I'ma keep it real. After watching last night's episode and thinking about how everything played out in real time, I owe you an apology. If anything I said or did came off offensive, that was never my intention, and I'm truly sorry. I was under the impression you swung first. Child, ooh, it hits differently. I don't condone violence at all, and it was hard to watch. As a mom, I understand where your emotions were coming from. Anybody in your shoes would have felt the same. This is exactly what I was thinking. Because, like, imagine the child that you birthed is literally in front of you, then has the audacity to push you. Bruh. Anyone will see red, in actual honesty. I know we like to go in on Jackie, but I get it. The whole, let me see, this whole situation's reminded me of family business and, oh, hold on. As a mom, I understand where your emotions were coming from. Anybody in your shoes would have felt the same. This whole situation reminded me to stay out of family business and focus on my own dang business. I really do hope you all can heal from this because that was tough to witness. I completely agree. And this has made me like Ming Lee. I like people that can look back and say, do you know what? I take accountability for my part. Even though all I said was this comment, I still take accountability. I should not have said that. That's how you apologize and take accountability. So yeah, shout out to Ming, man. Ming is probably gonna be my favorite until she does something silly. Someone says you were all wrong the entire time. At no point was Chantel even attempting to actually talk to her mother. She only wanted to disrespect her and fight. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. As a mom, this is a hard one to sit on the same table with your daughter and your co-workers and watch her insult you, ridicule you, and even recruit her friends to do the same. It is humiliating, I can't lie. And yet, the power to walk away to honor her and the family is a heroic act. I saw the episode with Brittany chorusing deadbeat at Jackie while Chantel sat there and watched. Now, that punch was very minimal. Oh, do you know what? And I agree. I agree because imagine you're out here and someone is literally screaming, your friend is literally screaming, deadbeat, fam. I'm surprised it was only one punch that it took. Jackie walked away and did not engage all season. You all have to stop trying to force people to publicly have family conversations. Her daughter taunted her all season. Agreed. The way how Chantel was calling her mother all sorts of names, baby, that household probably wasn't black enough because I couldn't dare to fix my mouth and disrespect my mother like that. Period. Period. No chance at all. Now, let's read this. Okay? This is a long thing, but don't worry, I got you. I'm going to read it so you don't have to. I'll start by saying if you've ever dealt with a toxic mother, then you truly have no idea what it feels like. As painful as it has been to watch these moments of my life play out on TV, I know my younger self is proud of the woman who finally stood up for herself. The truth is, this dynamic isn't rare. It happens in more families than we'll like to admit. Narcissism, jealousy, lies, lack of accountability, gaslighting, abuse, hiding, assault. I knew that was involved. I knew that was involved. Some of the things that she was saying were things that I was like, oh, I've heard people say that. And the people that generally say that are in situations where a parent or family member did not listen to them, where they spoke out about assault. So I'm not surprised that that is one of the things that she lists here. Not saying it's true, but I'm just saying not surprised. Hiding assaults, etc. We are just taught to keep it in house and suffer in silence. I chose to break that cycle. Here's my thing, Chantel. I feel like, yes, even if all of those things happened, there should have been a way in which you had the conversation in a way that would have been constructive for the people watching to be able to learn from. The problem is it wasn't constructive at all. And it came across as you trying to taunt your mother, attack your mother, So nobody likes anybody that comes out to somebody's platform to attack them. More or less now, not even talk of the fact that the person is your mother. So we don't have the backstory. So you got to fill in the gaps for us on the show. Not come at your mom with that much venom and then we don't get it. So those are the issues that I feel like need to be addressed. And it was a poor way of showing these issues, in my opinion. Now, what you witnessed was a masterclass in narcissism, someone lighting the fire behind the scenes, then walking away so you look like the arsonist. I know what really happened on and off camera all season long, so no, the internet cannot bully me into submission. You all know the TV character, I know the mother. Wow. She touched my arm. I pushed her off me, she swung. Plain and simple. Did she though? Maybe I need to go back and watch that because I didn't see her touch the arm. I saw her get close, almost like she wanted to. And that's why I said I feel like Chantel thought she was going to do so and then stepped in. But I'll watch that again. She touched my arm. I pushed her off me. She swung, plain and simple. It's unfortunate things played out this way, and I wish it never happened. But if you knew our history, then you'd know it was a long time coming. Wow. I may not be proud of all my choices this season, but I'm also not ashamed. This is my real life, and I doubt anyone judging me lives a perfect one. I see the hate mail, I see the judgment, but I also see all the messages that say, I've dealt with this too. This reminds me so much of my situation. To those of you with heart and understanding, I see you and I appreciate your vulnerability. To those who met me with threats, okay, guys, whoever, please, threats, vile statements, extreme judgments, yeah, it's just too much. There's no need like to be sending people hates and threats and all that kind of stuff. We can come over here on the channel and speak our opinions, but we don't say stuff with hate, please. Because you don't know what people can do. These things get to people, you know. So please, just whoever is listening, let's be mindful of the way in which we express our opinions. It's okay to have strong opinions, but somehow the way we express it, especially when someone else is involved, is very, very important, especially in the days where people can choose to like trigger one in on a live themselves. So we need to be careful about how we communicate certain things. I've always been misunderstood, and this chapter of my life is no different, but I'll answer to God, not imperfect strangers, who has never walked a step in my shoes. I will keep my head up and my peace in focus as I continue to grow as a mother, a wife, and a woman. Okay, sis. But yeah, I will say my advice is go to therapy, address those issues, have a therapy session on the show next season with Jackie, yourself, Dog, and isn't Dog the daddy? And and the rest of your siblings, please. You all need family counseling because a lot has gone on, and I feel like it needs to be addressed. Because if not, it's never going to get resolved. All right, so let's move on to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Guys, hit that like button. We're going to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? So I think I'm going to stop sharing my screen here for now. Let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. All right, here's the thing. My initial reactions about Love and Marriage Huntsville were, I was bored. I don't know who else was bored, but I was bored. I was like, okay, I expected a lot more. Well, actually, I lied. I did not expect a lot more. I pretty much thought that they would cock it up, but I thought that they would at least try to give us a more interesting first episode. But to me, it just didn't really give that interesting, personally. I felt like it wasn't that interesting. I felt that there wasn't really like, you know how most times you can tell like, okay, there is a star of the show. It felt like there wasn't much of a star of the show. If anything, it felt like, oh, it's going to be maybe let's gang up on one person again, as it always is. The one thing I did notice is it feels like they're finally pushing some of the storylines a little bit. in the sense that like they're finally pushing some people to show a little bit more. And I'll explain that in a second. So, for instance, when it comes to the whole Tisha and Marceau, now we know we're only going to get BS from them. We know we're not going to get any more information from them. But it feels like, okay, at least they're trying to push Destiny's story out a little bit more. I was still bored. I really struggled. I felt like it still needed an anchor. There was no anchor. Also, it made me realize that they don't have fun personalities. My goodness, it's going to be a long, boring season. I can already see it. Because, like, think about it, right? A lot of them don't have the personalities to get us laughing, right? To get us laughing, to get us excited. Like in the past, when they're like talking, the fun, the banter between Marceau and Melody, for instance, that was fun to watch, right? And guys, please don't tag Melody, right? She doesn't want to be tagged in this nonsense, okay? So, but my thing is like, think about it, right? There was good banter. It was fun. It was lighthearted at moments. Don't get me wrong. It got hectic. It got heated. It got like a little bit off track. Well, a lot off track. But for the most part, there were scenes that we would see with like Melody and certain people, and they're just having fun. I feel like this season, we're not going to get that. We're not going to get any balance. What we're likely to get is just drama, drama, drama. So, for those of you who don't want to watch, I will try as much as possible to give you enough context so you know the nonsense that is happening. But just so you know, I, I understand the people that don't want to watch. It is completely fair enough. I'm watching it the way we watched it last season, if that makes any sense to some of y'all. So, now let's get into it. Now, Wanda confronted Marceau about the whole YouTube video that Martell did. Now, if you guys remember, Martell allegedly, well, he did, brought someone who he alleges is a mistress of Marceau, and who he also alleges that Maurice had and Marceau had a thing with. Okay? Now, what is interesting is, first of all, we see that Wanda is back. First episode, you lot could not even leave her until like, I don't know, a few episodes down the line. So it's clear that they were scrambling for content. Once Melody left, they were just thinking like, oh, what are we going to talk about? What's going to happen? Like, let's try and put everything together. These people were working overtime to try to come up with something. And so they thought, let's bring Miss Wanda back. What they don't realize, this is just my opinion, what they don't realize is bringing her back is not going to make much of a difference. It's only going to make the show even heavier. And it's not going to be funny. It's not going to be lighthearted. It's going to be a bunch of nonsense. Now, is it me? Maybe it's where I watched it, but I felt that the quality also looks very poorly done. It felt like the budget was low this season. Well, this episode. Maybe I may be wrong, but it looks like the budget was low. That's all I'm gonna say. Now let's go back to this whole Wanda confronting Marceau. Marceau was up to his old tricks again, per usual. Wanda asked, "Do you know this lady?" He was like, "Why would you ask me that?" You know how Marceau likes to constantly deflect. We're never going to get a straight answer from Marceau. And Carlos is never going to hold him responsible. So it's all going to be dancing around the subject. And this is why it's so frustrating to watch the show. I feel like it is frustrating because imagine constantly dancing around the subjects. Like, that helps nobody. That is craziness. It's just like, what are we doing? You're dancing around the subjects. We don't know what's really going on. Like, what are we doing? And so I just feel like that needs to really be checked. I feel like Marceau needs to be held accountable. Yo, do you or do you not know the woman? Yes or no? I don't want no stories. I don't want you deflecting. Give me a straight answer. Do you know the woman? Do you not know the woman? Have you ever met this woman in your life? Yes or no? Like, tick yes or no, please. That's all we need. We don't need a story. We don't need no context. We don't need any of that. Now, my thing is this. The reason why it's also so tiring is this has been the BS that we've been seeing all of these previous seasons, right? Tisha plays the role of the naive wife. Wanda comes on to grill him, but gets no information. Then does interviews saying, "Oh, I don't think he's cheating." So it's like, so why are you grilling him? What does it matter? Tisha they clearly have an understanding, allegedly. Okay. She doesn't want the dirt coming out. As long as it doesn't come out, she doesn't have to address it. Right? That is the vibe that it gives and has given for a long time. So I feel like Wanda needs to let it go. Since Tisha doesn't care, leave it alone. She doesn't care either way. She doesn't care if he's cheating, if he's not cheating. She does not give a okay? So it's like, let it go. She doesn't care. Why should you? She was literally sitting there like, "Mom, no, I don't like when you do this," even though she had a smirk on her face. I'm like, honey, do you not like it or do you like it? Do you appreciate her doing this because you can't do this for yourself? But you want the tea, but you know you can't ask Marceau because he's going to go off on you. Is that what it is? Okay. Whatever the case, I feel like there is some understanding there. They know exactly what they're doing, and that's just their business. I don't want to see another season of, "Oh, is Marceau cheating? Is he not cheating?" We don't care. If he's cheating, Tisha likes it. How about that? She does not care. Why should we? If she doesn't care, Wanda, give it a rest. She doesn't care. Let it go. Now let's talk about Destiny and Martell. I personally hate their scenes together every single time. For me, it's not fun to watch. I'm just like, ugh, it's just like when they try to convince us that they're brothers. Oh, they're like, oh, brother and sister, or they're really good friends. Like, please, piss off. We don't believe it. We don't believe that that is true. We don't believe that that's, nobody believes it. Sorry, not sorry. We don't. We really don't. So whatever you guys have to say for the camera, that's your business. Why aren't you the same person accusing your brother of GROOOM? Well, I put an extra O, but you know what I mean. You were the one accusing your brother of the GR. And all of a sudden, he's too dumb to know how that is a problem. And now he's back to be like, "Oh, you guys are cool." And I'm like, such a dumbass. These people. Ridiculous. So, did you notice they started showing pictures of Ariane in the episode? It is obvious that they want to bring her back on, they want to bring her on the show. And it's interesting because it's like, okay, you're like, you want to bring on the show? Whatever. And it's obvious that they're trying to soft launch her on the show because why else are they putting pictures of her on the show? Why else are they talking about, things are getting serious, all of that? It's because they obviously want to bring her on the show. They are trying to introduce her to us. They're trying to clean it up. Now he's talking about she's such a good woman and a good mother and a good, please piss off. You called her a peasant. That's how you truly felt. You were going around in circles trying to get Melody back for a long time. Then you went around in circles to go over to Real Housewives of Atlanta to date Sheree and do whatever y'all were doing. You clearly did not claim your girlfriend at the time. So my thing is like, clearly you're only with her now because you've run out of options, allegedly, in my opinion. You've run out of options. Nobody wants you. Because no sensible woman is going to date a Martell. Let's be honest. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? It's like literally setting yourself up. It's like you're literally setting yourself up to be played. Okay? And did you guys also notice when Destiny had a smirk on when Destiny, actually, no, it was Martell that had a smirk on his face when Destiny said, "Oh, yeah, so you're now looking to be a one man, one woman kind of guy." Martell was just looking like, "Yeah, yeah," but he had a smirk on his face like, that ain't never gonna happen. Even he does not believe that ish. He knows that he ain't, if not that he doesn't want the money to dry up and knows he has to give them a story. he will not be doing all of that. So this is a soft launch. They're trying to see if the fans are okay with them bringing the side chick over to the show. Well, Kimmy was allegedly a side chick. So Nell was allegedly a side chick. Okay. So who else? I don't know what Tisha was. So it wouldn't be surprising if they choose to bring the other side chick into the group so that they can all be a group of side chicks. It is what it is at this point. But yeah, I don't think anybody is falling for the BS. Now let's talk about Martell and the Fletchers. Even I'm exhausted. This show exhausts me, I can't lie. It really does. But I'm like, there's some of you who want us to review it, so we're doing it. Martell said he didn't put the photo or, expose the photo of Arion and Nell that went semi-viral on Instagram. Was it Instagram? Social media? Whatever. Can't remember what it was. Ooh, girl. Sorry. I'm clearly tired already. I am tired actually. But anyway, back to the story. So Martell basically Nell basically believes that Martell was part or was basically the person that set her up. Remember, she came out, went on live, her freckles were showing, her hair was looking good, and we were all like, "Oh, Miss Nell is beautiful." So anyway, she basically said like she was set up for a photo op. Okay, she blames Martell. Martell came over there with a smirk on his face. Even the Fletchers had a smirk on their face. I feel like they clearly did not believe that Martell was innocent, but Martell came and said he was innocent. Okay? He is innocent. He is not guilty. That's what Martell said, okay? And I'm just like, I don't believe that, Martell. I feel like you actually were responsible and you set it up. And I blame nobody but Miss Nell, because whether or not there was a photo op, you were engaged with the side chick in some capacity. That was your choice. You did that. So, as much as nobody likes to be exposed, and it's not right to expose anybody in that way, but at the same time, you did that ish. So, it is what it is. It just is what it is. And besides, when they do bring her on the show, you will have to film with her at some point. And you will, because you're going to say, well, she's Martell's family. That's the story that Destiny was saying. So it's going to happen. We're going to hear it. We're going to see it. That's just what that is. Okay? So it is what it is. Rose Matthews says, we're sick of hearing about Martell being unhinged. Absolutely, I get it. Like, he is who he is. And I guess I can see that they're trying to move away from that storyline, and they're trying to paint him a little bit like a family man. They're trying to clean up his image. And that's what I noticed from this episode. They're trying to clean up his image, trying to make him seem like a family man who wants to settle down with the person he lost his marriage over. That is the impression that they're trying to give us, right? So it is what it is. We don't believe it. He doesn't even believe it with that smirk on his face. So it is what it is. Okay. Let's go to, let me see my notes. Okay. Oh, this last scene pissed me off. It really did. And I think the reason for me it really pissed me off is because I feel like Marquez does not have a handle on his emotions. And I feel like the problem with people that don't have a handle on their emotions is that you can easily trigger them, you can easily control them. You can set things up and know the actions that they will take, right? Now, I 110% believe that it was staged. You see that last scene where Trish's friend Sharon came over and she had all that smoke for Marquez? I think that was set up, because let's be honest, what are the chances of you're out here at the house keying and talking about somebody? Then the person randomly, of all the people that could have walked into your house that day, fully mic'd, walks in, boom, 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 and bam, you're there. And it's like, okay, what do you lot take us for? Then Trish has a whole attitude about how is he coming in? How is he getting into the property without being invited? Girl, how did he get in? Does he have a key? If you didn't open the door, how did he get in? Why is he mic'd? So it was definitely staged for him to be there. And you knew that he was going to be there, most likely. I struggle to believe that they wouldn't tell you that he would be coming in when he's mic'd. The producers would have already been there filming the scene. Why did they know that that was the scene that he should come in? It's like you're playing on our intelligence, and it's just not going to work. And my thing is this: even if let's just assume and give them the benefit of the doubt, even though we believe they're lying, that this man rolls in and this friend Sharon is there, they're talking. Why did Sharon have to get involved? Why do you have so much venom for this man that you said that you have never seen before in your life? You're a new friend, you're a friend of about 4 years, right? When they were married, you guys weren't friends, as in when they were together in the relationship, right? Because they're still married. But when they were together in the relationship, you guys were not friends. So you do not know enough about what has happened in that relationship. You were not anywhere around that relationship. So my thing is like, why would you then have so much venom for this man that walks in to pick up his daughter or drop off his daughter, whatever the case may have been? What's the venom about? It's like you guys could have talked about what you all wanted to talk about privately. That ain't got nothing to do with him. But why are you then practically squaring up with this man to talk? Now, Marquez, this is where you went wrong. Sharon was wrong. Hella wrong. She had no right to come at you. Absolutely no right. But Marquez, you're too emotional and you need help. You need to be in therapy, honey. You need to be in therapy getting help for that behavior, because you do come across as not being able to manage your emotions. People can push you, prod you, decide whichever way you are going to react, because all they have to do is push the right buttons. And it's so sad, it's so laughable. Everybody could have seen what they were trying to do to you in that moment, but you continued to play into it. It's like, what would it take for you to just walk away and just say, Miss Sharon, I do not know you. I have never seen you before in my life. And I would appreciate, there's no need for us to go back and forth. I wish you the best, but I'm not going to entertain this conversation. That could have been it. You could have walked off. You could have even said less. Miss Sharon, good afternoon. That's it. That is all you're getting from me, and walked out. That is enough. Imagine your son is having to tell you, Dad, outside. He's having to tell you to cool off. That is ridiculous. You're a grown-ass man. Your child should not be parenting you. That's not okay. And so I just feel like the son was the most mature person out of all of them. Trish was highly inappropriate. Trish has a problem. Trish does not like when Marquez and whatever his name is, Ken, are getting along. She doesn't like it. I feel like she loves when they're beefing. It gives her some sort of ego boost. She loves it. Because the way she was talking about, like, oh, it's almost like they're now BFFs now. I'm like, girl, are you okay? Like, it shouldn't bother you, right? Co-parenting and all, right? Don't you want the best for the children? Then it shouldn't really bother you, right? If he's trying to be present in their lives, he's trying to do better or whatever, and there is a present father in their lives, so what's the problem? Why are you so anti them being cool? Which is making me feel like you're the problem, Mrs. You're the problem. Now, that's not to say they don't have problems. I already told you what Marquez needs to work on. But I still think that Trish is a problem. She is a problem as well because she loves chaos. And it's like, ooh, she's like, ooh, let's cause some chaos today. I'm gonna bring Sharon. And Sharon understood the assignment, but Marquez did not. Because Marquez, what are you doing? Going back and forth with somebody that you don't even know. And your son is having to tell you to go outside. That is embarrassing, sir. Now, I will give him some grace because I know this was probably filmed a while back. Because I know he had the interview with Queen Sheba and he talked about how like there were certain scenes or whatever where he was particularly asked to be there, and then it was almost like they were like, why are you here, right? So I feel like those are all sort of intertwined. You also see from like I think the season trailer that there was some sort of altercation between him and Ken, which he had talked about, and which he went off, and then everything just skyrocketed from that. And that's the thing. I just feel like Marquez, if he can work on controlling his emotions, he will be fine. But I think because he cannot control his emotions, it's so easy for anybody to set him up. And this is a lesson for everybody. Anyone listening today, please hit that like button. You need to learn how to control your emotions because if not, you are going to be controlled by anybody. Anybody can easily sit down, plot, plan, scheme to take you down because they know that you would be too emotional and you will act a fool and take yourself down. Right? So I personally feel like that's exactly what that was. He was practically trying to take him, well, they were practically trying to take him out, and he took himself down by letting his emotions get the better of him. So yeah, that would be my emotion and my advice. Hi, Miss Linda Gamble. How are you? So glad you were able to join today. But yeah, so those would be my little 2 cents about the Love and Marriage Huntsville. I feel like I would give this episode a 3 out of 10. I think that even me giving it a 3 is me being generous. I found it very boring. I felt like it was, you know how Nini said starless. That's what it was given, starless. Okay. And it was absolutely clear that the star of the show was missing from the show, in my opinion. Um, I do think that now the people are having to work harder, which I like because the work shouldn't have been put all over her, but it's now looking like the people are having to work harder. Now, when you see the sneak peeks or like the preview of the rest of the season, you can tell that there's going to be Miss Nell trying to call them out a little bit more. And you can see that Miss Nell is going to end up being on an island by herself. And let's be clear, I feel like what will end up happening is Miss Nell being attacked by the rest of the cast. I do feel like it's going to end up in a very similar situation where it felt like everyone was coming at Melody and the millimeters and all of that. I feel like that's what's going to eventually come and happen to Miss Nell. First of all, it is so obvious that having two Scots on the show is not a good idea. That means you literally have alliances already fitted into the show because family are going to be doing gang and riding for each other. So I will not be surprised that Nell will end up being on the outs with almost everybody in this season and maybe in a few more seasons to come. So I will not be surprised. Now, just know you heard it for you heard it from me first or heard it from me first. I clearly cannot speak today. I am tired. You heard it from me first, okay? Now that we have all of that, that is all I want to talk to you guys about today. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications so you know every single time. I keep missing my words, honey. Sorry. Every single time that I post or go live. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I know this was not a scheduled live, but you all know I be spontaneous, honey. Now, most times in my life, day to day, I am a planner. But when it comes to the channel, especially because, like, the thing about, I don't know how content creators do it, where they have planned lives and stuff. Like, I do find that sometimes I may have energy to like record something or go live in that moment, but because I know there would hardly be anyone on live at that moment, I'm like, oh, maybe let me leave it, right? But the problem with that is like when I then leave it, then by the time I have the energy to come back over here to chat with you guys, I don't have no energy anymore. I'm like tired, right? So it's very hard to like do scheduled lives for me. So you guys just have to bear with me and turn on your notifications so that at least whenever I decide to be like, all right, let's go live now or let's go live in an hour, we can all just be present. But yeah, thank you all. Love you. Thank you for your support. We reached 10K, 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, thank you so much for your support. And I'll see you guys in the next live. Thank you. Bye.